Hi, I'm Bridget Pasquinzo with Team Paz at Excel Financial Group in Fort Collins, Colorado. And today we're going to talk a little bit about FHA appraisals. FHA is really concerned primarily that your house is in good functioning condition, that everything works the way it should, and that there are no health or safety concerns. So we're going to give you a list of the top 10 things that we most often see called out for repair on an FHA appraisal. The first one, and we see this one a lot, is no chipping or peeling paint allowed, whether it's on the house, even if it's on the garage door. Maybe you have outbuildings that aren't even attached to the house. If there's a section of chipped or peeling paint on the outbuilding, still going to be a problem. What's going to be asked is that you sand it all down, get rid of the chipped or peeling areas, and then recover it with another coat of paint. It does not have to match the existing paint that's already on there. It could be hot pink, it could be just white primer, it could be whatever it needs to be. It does not need to be pretty. It just needs to be sure, you just need to be sure that everything is covered so that way there are no exposed areas. What FHA is concerned about is that parts of your house, either parts of the wood or siding, could be exposed to the natural elements, and then you could have problems with mold or other more serious issues down the road that you could have been avoided had we just had that part sealed. The second thing you're going to want to make sure is that all your utilities are turned on. The appraiser is going to want to make sure that you are hooked up appropriately to the grid so that your water works, your electricity runs, all of that is in good condition. They also will take a look at your appliances. Again, since your utilities should be on, they should be able to take a look at your stove, run your dishwasher. They won't run a full load or waste any water. They just want to make sure that those are all functioning and in good condition. They might even look at your fridge, but they just want to make sure that whatever is included in the purchase contract in terms of appliances, that they do function and that they are in good condition. The next thing they're going to look at is they're going to look at your water pressure and your water heater to make sure that there aren't any concerns or hazards that come with maybe an old water heater that might need to be replaced. They also want to make sure that you have access to hot water, obviously for sanitary reasons, for hygiene, so you can shower and wash your dishes and do whatever you need to do. They also will take a look at your heating and AC units to make sure that those are also functioning and in good condition. Your FHA appraiser will take a look at your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide detectors. Now these are done typically by county code building records and requirements. So every county might have a little bit of a different requirement. Some counties require that every bedroom have a smoke detector X amount of feet away from the entrance. Some counties just require that you have a smoke detector on every floor. It just kind of depends on what county and what area you're in, but rest assured, if you do not have enough smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors, your FHA appraiser will definitely point it out and let you know. They will also want to check the electrical and make sure that that's all working and covered. So not only are they checking to make sure again that your electricity works, but they're making sure that there are no exposed wires, nothing that could become hazardous, that your outlets and your switches all have acceptable covers on them, and nobody can start poking around or create any health or safety issues. If the house that you are looking at has an attic or a crawl space, they will have to do their due diligence and go at least shoulder height in to make sure that they're just getting a good overview and reviewing to make sure that the attic or the crawl space is properly vented or that there aren't any other fire hazards or any other kind of safety concerns. They don't actually have to go all the way in the attic, so they may not actually go all the way into the attic or the crawl space, but they are just doing a cursory glance to make sure that there aren't any glaring safety or hazard issues. They also will take a look at the drainage around your house. They want to make sure that your gutters are clean and free of debris. They want to make sure that you have good downspouts that are far enough away from your house so you don't come back and have foundation issues. They want to make sure that the general grading of your lawn and landscaping is not going to create problems for you, because over time it would be awful if you ended up having very serious foundation and very expensive foundation concerns because the drainage around your property was not adequate. And last but not least, FHA does require that there is at least 2 years left on the economic value of your roof. So what this means is that if you're buying an older house, or perhaps you're buying a house that had roof repair due to hail damage or something like that, if you have a roof that maybe has 3 or 4 layers of shingles on it, or anything that could create issues for the roof, the appraiser could take a picture and point it out and state that the roof needs to be repaired prior to closing in order to meet FHA standards. So that could or could not be something that you maybe had not planned on replacing. That could become costly. That could be another negotiation attempt with the seller, perhaps, to make sure and see who's going to pay for the roof replacement. But all things that could potentially come up when you're doing an FHA appraisal. Now the steps, once you've done your appraisal, let's say the appraiser finds one of these items and they're calling it out and asking for repair, what they'll do is they'll take pictures and they'll put it in your appraisal report. That way you know exactly which areas you need to be focused on. You and the seller can either determine who's going to make the repairs, maybe it's you, maybe it's a seller, maybe it's a combination of both. And then moving forward, those items would need to be repaired. Once those repairs are completed, we would send the appraiser back out to the property to verify that yes, all the work that we've said is done, and it's all done to FHA standards, and that FHA would sign off on your property. Those are the top 10 FHA repairs that we see most commonly asked for during the FHA appraisal process. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm Bridget Pasquinzo with Team Paz at Excel Financial Group.